Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Chris. I am going to be doing a little review on the Canik Elite TP9. Look at this. I should say the Canik TP9 Elite Subcompact, and Rex is going to help me with this review. So far, you've seen the installation video with the Sig Romeo Zero red dot, and I did some zeroing just a couple of days ago. So you kind of have an idea regarding the firearm, but I am just going to go through the specifications of this particular firearm. I'm going to do a little bit of a breakdown so you can see what that is like, because it is different than the other TP9 series, such as the SFX or the Elite and some of the other firearms in their line. So I'm going to go over this a little bit. I'm going to give you all the specs, and so stay tuned. This is the last one. Really? All right, so let's quickly go over what you get in the Canik case. Let's quickly go over what you get with the Canik and the case. So Canik is always good about giving all the extras. You get an extra back strap, bigger back strap for bigger hands to fit into the back of your grip. You get, I've taken mine off, but this is the top plate, mounting plate for your RMR, and in place of where this goes, you actually get the plastic mount that sits on top of the slide here. You get a loaded or an unloaded safety indicator, so you know that your firearm is free of any bullets. You actually get a 10-round magazine end plate. So if you want to take your 12 or your 15 off, you can replace it and you'll have a 10-round plate. You get your quality tag. Awesome that Canik always supplies a little toolkit. You get all of the hex wrenches, and you get extra screws and extra washers. I'm not going to open that up, but you can kind of see in the back you get all this extra stuff. Now with the RMR, you do get the mounting screws. I'm just putting that in the case. You get a 15-round magazine, and you get a 12-round magazine. My other 12 is in my bag. With this particular model, you're actually getting an inside and convertible outside the waistband holster. Now, I've been using this for the last week because I'm still waiting for my Red X Gear holster to come into the mailbox. And so I've had to use this, and I have to say, for a stock holster, it actually isn't that bad. Now, if you remember, most of the older Caniks is your SFX, and your other TP series usually comes with a Serpa type holster. This is actually a really functional holster, like I said, inside and outside the waistband, and I do use it inside the waistband configuration. So that's the bottom half. Top half, you also get a little trigger lock, which, you know, gets used. Now, the cool thing about this is that it actually comes with this little like foam spacer, and I actually use this for when I put my firearm down on the table, such as the wooden table here. I will actually put my firearm on top of this, so it serves as a little tray that kind of protects your tables from being all scratched up. You get a cleaning brush, you get a cleaning rod, you get your registration card, and you get your user's manual, as well as instructions on how to disassemble your slide and how to reassemble. So you have your assembly on one side and your disassembly on the other side. Everything else is paperwork that came with the transfer of the particular pistol. So anyway, it is Canik always does a great job of putting their cases together, and you know, not a lot of gun manufacturers out there these days give you the option of 2 different magazines or 2 magazines period. So it's nice that they gave a 15 and a 12 rounder, and you can convert it to a 10 if you absolutely need to do that. So quality case, it really is it gives you an idea of what Canik is like as far as their, you know, quality control and what they're going to give you for the money. Now, speaking of money, I had purchased this from Battle Hawk Armory in Iowa, and I got this particular this gun for $357 out the door, and then of course you have your transfer fees. But $357 shipped out the door was the best price that I had seen on the internet. So very good price. If you're looking for one, go to Battle Hawk Armory, located in Spring something, Iowa. Anyway, so let's get to the specifics in regard to all your dimensions and the weights and all that good stuff in regard to the pistol itself. So again, this is the Canik TP9 Elite SC or Subcompact. Calibers 9 by 19 millimeter. Magazine capacity, like I said before, you got a 10, 12, and a 15. Barrel length on this particular model is 3.6 inches. Overall length from tip to tail is 6.7 inches. The height, measuring from the top of the slide down to the bottom of the magazine, is 4.60 inches. And the width, which they measure from side to side, from slide release to slide release, is 1.45 inches. Total weight unloaded is 24.78 ounces. And again, this is a single action striker fired pistol. Some of the safety issues, or the safety mechanism, is a trigger safety lever, which is the red lever right in here. Ooh, excuse me. Magazine release. This is actually ambidextrous, meaning actually it's single dextrous, but it can be switched from side to side, so depending on what your strong hand is. Loaded chamber indicator. It is, as you can see, it is unloaded. That is located right here, right in front of the RMR. And so sights, this one has the SIG red dot on it, but you can see that it's got a single front phosphorus sight on the front there. And then on the rear, it is a U-shaped blackout rear sight. And so that is actually a metal sight, so you can actually rack it. It does have, it is grooved so that you can catch it with your belt or with a heel or whatever you need to do if you need to do a one-hand manipulation of the slide. So again, the RMR on here is the shield profile. So it's going to fit the Romeo Zero like you see here. It's going to fit the Holosun 570, I believe it is. It's also going to fit the J point and the shield. So that's what the profile is. I believe it's RMSC or RMRSC, one of those two. The slide release is ambidextrous, so you can see it on on both sides of the gun, and so it functions very well. This I will tell you that the slide, actually the capture spring in this thing is dual capture, and it is very tight. There's been quite a few people that have posted that they do get failure to lock back, and that's because that spring is so tight. So let's get into the guts and takedown of this particular gun, because it is a little bit different. So back up top, this is how we disassemble the upper slide, or the slide from the Canik Subcompact. It's done very similar to most of the other Canik models, but instead we're going to pull back our takedown levers, and we're going to squeeze and push, but this does not go all the way forward. It only goes about an inch. So you go about an inch, and all you got to do is pull up. So very easy. There is your dual capture spring, recoil spring. That sucker is tight. It will take probably a little bit to loosen that up. My suggestion to you is, if you do purchase the subcompact model, is to lock back the slide in a lock back position overnight, and that should loosen it up a little bit. And certainly that is going to help with that lock back process after the magazine has been emptied. So again, to put it back together, you're going to simply align it about an inch from the end of your dovetail, and it's simply a pull back, and you got it. So I'm not going to go through the breakdown process of the capture spring. It's very easy. It is dual capture, so you're not going to lose the spring anywhere, which is the nice thing with the Caniks. And so that is the takedown process for this particular model. So hopefully that helps you guys out a little bit. As far as reliability, as far as shootability, this thing, love it. I have probably put in 300 rounds so far. I plan on going out to the range sometime this weekend to actually put some more rounds in, just so I can do maybe a 25-yard zero on the SIG Romeo. And so it has been very reliable. There's only been one time that it has not locked back, and I was using the cheaper Winchester box 115 grain ammo. And so I have been running some of my hot loads through it, 115 to 124 grain, and I've had no problems whatsoever with it locking back. And so as far as accuracy, this little sucker, even though it's a 3.6 inch barrel, is pretty accurate. This is meant for concealed carry, and so it's not like you're going to be shooting tight groups from like 30 yards away or even 25 yards away, but is meant for short range self-defense concealed carry situations. The other thing that I forgot to mention, that if you've never had a Canik before, there is actually an indicator to let you know that the striker is pulled back and it's ready to fire, so you can hear that right there. And as far as, let's go through the trigger a little bit. Caniks are renowned for having the best triggers in their inexpensive models. So let's kind of check this out. I'm going to rack it, and we can see the break point with these triggers. So the wall is right there, and that's the break point. Now the reset is right there. That was not even a quarter inch of movement. So if I pull the trigger again, rack the slide, reset, not even a quarter of an inch. And so you're able to actually get accurate follow-up shots pretty quickly with this. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to roll in some shooting video with this particular gun just recently when I was sighting the SIG in, so enjoy that video. All right, guys, have any comments, any questions, put them down below. Make sure you like this page, and I am going to be bringing even more content, and I've done a lot lately, so hope you guys aren't overwhelmed. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Yeah, it's cold. Got locked back. It's nice, I like that. Functions well. I just need more time behind the trigger on that. It's good.